that indicated that Zambia had experienced a rise in corruption, and this particular agent matter without notice was inadmissible.
The last one did come from Mr. Anthony Mumbaka Ntanshi, Member of Parliament, on the subject matter on a letter allegedly authored by the Secretary General of the United Party for National Development, claiming that the Zambia Police Service was undertaking a recruitment exercise. This matter was admissible. The Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security responded.
And so those were the three agent matters without notice that were considered on the floor of the House yesterday. And thereafter, we did see the Minister of Tourism render a ministerial statement on the performance of the tourism sector for the period 2021 to 2025 and brief the House on the major achievements and progress made in the period under review.
The House went on to consider questions for oral answers number 173 to 179, understanding order 80, and it was taken note at 17:02 hours that quorum not formed. Mr. Second Deputy Speaker ordered the bills to be rung, House counted, and quorum having been formed, business resumed.
The House did consider the National Payment System Bill, National Assembly Bill number 32 of 2025. It was read a second time and committed to the Committee of the whole House. And so committee stage is expected to take place on Wednesday, 18th February 2026.
The State-Owned Enterprises Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2025 was read a second time, and a committee stage to be taken in due course.
And so the House did adjourn yesterday at 18:53 hours. That's the business that was considered on the floor of the House yesterday. Time now to look at today's order paper.
Yes, indeed. So we do expect announcements if there be any business statement from 17th to 27th February, or agent matters if there will be any, and ministerial statements, and of course 7 ordinary questions, understanding order 80.
And so just a reminder, in case you've just tuned in, business resumes at 09 hours. And as we wait for the Speaker's procession to make its way into the chamber, we'll have a look at what we have in store for you. So like my colleague mentioned, we do expect a business statement to be delivered by Her Honor the Vice President, Leader of Government Business. And we do expect a ministerial statement to be delivered by the Minister of Green Economy and Environment on the impact of the cyclone Gezani.
Yes, indeed. And to take a look at some of the questions, we do have Mr. Gustave Chonde Mirenge, Member of Parliament. He has a question to the Minister of Technology and Science.
And so before we get to look at the questions for oral answer, we'll have a look at the bills that are expected to be considered on the floor of the House, one coming up at second reading stage and the other one coming up at committee stage. And so the House is expected to consider the Zambia Deposit Insurance Corporation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2025, and is coming up at second reading stage.
The Immigration Control Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2025 is expected to be considered at committee stage.
So those are the bills that are going to be considered on the floor of the House at different stages. Time now to look at the questions that will be considered. That's questions for oral answer, understanding order number 80. We do expect Mr. John Day of Milenge to ask the Minister of Technology and Science when the construction of the communication towers in the following areas in Milenge Parliamentary Constituency will commence. That's Milenge District Hospital, Loko Mukuta Ward and Nsaka Ward, and what the cause of the delay in constructing the towers is.
We also have another question from Mr. Chinga Miotu, Kalabo Central Member of Parliament, to ask the Minister of Finance and National Planning what the major causes of poverty in Zambia are, and what measures are being taken to alleviate poverty levels.
All right, so those are some of the questions that will be considered on the floor of the House. Just about now, we take you to the floor of the House for live deliberations. Good morning.
dancing of Zambia, proud and free, land of wealth and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We won freedom's fight, oh, one, strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by those who blend. Let us all our people join as one, brothers under the sun, oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise thee, bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Remain we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to consider with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of such important responsibilities in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you've committed to our charge. Amen.
Good morning, you're tuned in to Parliamentary Television. As soon as the quorum is constituted, business will resume. 1/3 of members of Parliament needs to be present in the House in order for business to be transacted. And so we do expect a business statement for the period 17th to 27th February 2026. We also expect the Minister of Green Economy and Environment to render a ministerial statement on the impact of the cyclone Gezani.
And of course, we do expect a consideration of 7 ordinary questions under Standing Order 80. We have question 184 coming from Mr. Yotam Teachalo, Chairman of a Member of Parliament, to ask the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development whether the government has any plans to rehabilitate the following feeder roads in Chama North Parliamentary Constituency: Chama Sitwe, Mafinga Tenof, Mulilo, Lundu, Mwini Chipeta, Chivale Kambowe, and Chivale Soka, when the plans will be implemented, and if there are no such plans, why?
We expect Mr. Mukosa of Chinsali to ask the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development when the government will operationalize Chilinda Mini Civic Center in Chinsali District and what the cause of the delay in operationalizing the center is.
Mr. Kampianga from Mpika has a question to the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. In A, he wants to find out whether the government has any plans to construct the Mpika Kativunga Mukungule Lufila Kakoko Road in Mpika District. If so, when the plans will be implemented, and if there are no such plans, why?
Of course, we do expect the House to consider the Zambia Deposit Insurance Corporation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2025. It's coming up at second reading stage.
And also the Immigration Control Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2025, to be considered at committee stage.
So that's the business that is expected to be considered on the floor of the House today, Friday, 13th February 2026. We would aid you to stay tuned right here as we continue to bring Parliament closer to you. So in case you've just joined us, business will only resume once a quorum is constituted. So we would aid you to stay tuned right here as we await for a quorum to be constituted. Good morning.
How many more?
3 more.
3.
Yeah, 2 more now.
Okay. Order, honorable members. I have 3 announcements to make. The first one, honorable members have received communication to the effect that in the absence of our honor, the Vice President, who is attending to other government business, the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Honorable Jack J. Mwimbu MP, has been appointed acting leader of government business in the House from today, Friday, 13th February 2026, until further notice. I thank you. The second one, order. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of students from Lusaka South College in Lusaka District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome our visitors in our midst. I thank you. You may be seated. The last announcement, honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from New Crest Academy Limited in Lusaka District. On behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, I warmly welcome the visitors in our midst. Thank you. You may be seated. Business statement, the acting leader of government business.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, before I make the business statement, I wish to express my sincere condolences to the family of our dear citizen in Canada whose child was among those who were shot dead at the school in British Columbia. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that the House Business Committee met on Thursday, 12th February 2026 to determine and schedule business of the House for the period 17th to 27th February 2026. Madam Speaker, the House Business Committee resolved to lay before the House the following businesses for consideration in the next 2 weeks. A, announcements. The Honorable Speaker may make announcements to the House if there will be any. B, rulings. The Honorable Speaker will render rulings if there will be any. Ministerial statements. Ministerial statements on topical issues will be rendered if there will be any. Private members' motion. The following proposed private members' motions may be considered during the period. Name of the mover, Honorable Sunday Chanda MP. Subject matter, established an environmental court within the High Court. Date of presentation, 18th February 2026. Mr. S. Chanda, establish a Youth Agriculture Technology Fund, Agritech. Date of presentation, 19th February 2026. Mr. S. Chanda, reserve 30% of government procurement for women and youth-led enterprises. Day of deliberation, 25th February 2026. Mr. S. Chanda, establish public-private partnerships for rural innovation and agro-industrial parks in all provinces. Date 26 February 2026. Mr. Fube, MP, allocate a percentage of the CDF to sponsor diploma and degree courses. Date 26 February 2026. M. Fube, MP, establish local authorities to retain a percentage of toll revenue collected within their jurisdiction. Date 27th February 2026. Bills. The bills listed here under may be considered. The Agricultural Credits and Warehouse Receipts Bill, stage, second reading, date of consideration, 17th February 2026. The Agricultural Marketing Bill, second reading, 19th February 2026. The Banking and Financial Services Bill, second reading, 27th February 2026. The Immigration Control Bill, committee stage, 18th February 2026. The Criminal Procedure Code Bill, committee stage, yet to be determined. The National Payment System Bill, committee stage, 18th February 2026. The Food Reserve Bill, committee stage, 25th February 2026. the State-Owned Enterprises Bill, Committee Stage, 19 February 2026. The Zambia Deposit Insurance Corporation Bill, Committee Stage, 18 February 2026. Reports on international conferences. Reports on international conferences will be considered if there will be any. Parliamentary committee reports. Committee reports will be considered if there will be any. Questions. 41 questions for oral and written answer are available for consideration. The questions are contained in Appendix 1 of this statement, which will be circulated to all honorable members. Further, the details of the questions are contained in the notices of questions of 12th September 2025, 28th September 2025, and 4th February 2026, which have already been circulated to all honorable members. Questions on standby. The questions on standby to replace questions that may not be placed on the order paper on the designated day due to unforeseen circumstances are contained in Appendix 2 and will be circulated to all honorable members as part of the business statement. Suspension of standing orders. On Thursday, 19th February 2026, I will move a motion to suspend relevant standing orders to enable the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, to address the House on the progress made in the application of national values and principles on Friday, 20th February 2026. Presidential address. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, will address the House on Friday, 20th February 2026, on the progress made in the application of national values and principles. Motion of thanks. The motion of thanks to the President's address will commence on 24th February 2026 and will continue for a period of 10 days, sitting days up to Wednesday, 11th March 2026. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Business Committee and in accordance with Standing Order 44 of the National Assembly of Zambia, Standing Orders 2024, I have the pleasure to present the business for the next 2 weeks to this August House. I thank you, Madam.
Thank you. We now move to urgent matters without notice. The Honorable Member Fonkana.
Madam Speaker, the urgent matter without notice I wish to raise is directed to Jack Mwimbo, the Minister of Home Affairs. Madam Speaker, I was just reading a notice by the police command around the suspension of roadblocks. Madam Speaker, in as much as roadblocks are an inconvenience to the traveling public, it is important that every time such a big decision is made to avoid anxiety and apprehension, it is explained as to why such a decision is made. You do recall, Madam Speaker, that when a similar decision was made, there was a number of speculations to the effect that we as a country facilitated illegalities to a point where we are being accused that we had facilitated the movement of ballot papers meant for the elections in Congo. Is the Minister of Home Affairs in order to allow such a huge decision to be made without having to explain why it has been made? Because you know, Madam Speaker, that roadblocks serves as a security feature to deter criminal activities, movement of unwanted, personnel, immigrants, movement of banned substances like kumukula and others. Madam Speaker, is the Minister of Home Affairs in order not to come to this August House to explain why this decision has been made so as to stop any form of speculation from the general public. I seek your indulgence.
I would advise the Honorable Member from Kana to come up with an urgent question so that the Minister of Home Affairs can attend to that. The Honorable Member for Kantanshi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, carefully listen to my matter because we only have one important responsibility here, and that is to provide for the prosperity of our citizens. Madam Speaker, respectfully, when you look at the front bench, they look very tired. Very, very tired. But you know why they're tired? They have worked very hard. They have been able to bring down the inflation rate.
Honorable Member, I don't even know how you can determine a minister who is smiling, looks happy, to be tired. How do you determine tiredness?
Madam Speaker, I'll qualify what I mean. Madam Speaker, they have been able to reduce the rate of inflation. They have been able to strengthen the kwacha. They have been able to bring in foreign direct investment in the mining sector, close to 12 billion. They have been able to reduce the cost of goods and services, which they are not talking about. Now, the only thing people know that they're talking about is Imingalatwa. That's all. Now, is the leader of government business, Madam Speaker, in order to come here, look tired, look like nothing is happening in the country, only reminding us every time that PF left a wrecked economy when they know that they have been able to do something. Because us in the opposition, we're ready to come and take over and build on what they're doing. So the people of Kantanshi want to know why this government has remained quiet instead of reminding us of the good things that are happening. Because it's our responsibility in this House not just to oppose, because we have also contributed to the well-being of this economy. So it is important that they are able to tell us how it has happened, so for the benefit of our people. Because we don't want to be seen like an opposition that does not appreciate. We want to be part of the success story, so that when we take over this year, we want to make sure that they don't say that they are the ones who left the economy that way. We also contributed. We need a comment from the government, Madam Speaker.
Unfortunately, the Honorable Member for Kantanshi, that sounds to be like a point of order. I would have ruled it accordingly. However, when we look at these urgent matters without notice, it does not qualify. The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good morning. The matter I wish to raise is directed to the Minister of Local Government and the Minister of Home Affairs.
You may proceed, Honorable Member.
Madam Speaker, the matter I wish to raise is a very important matter, considering that in 2021, the first CDF funds we allocated and gave to Ministry of Home Affairs our 1 million kwachas for the Prisons Authority to build palaces for our chiefs in Lundazi. Madam Speaker, up to today, I want to state that these people, the Minister of Local Government and the counterpart, that man, Mr. Jack Mwimbu, the longest serving MP in Zambia,
Honorable Member,
has not even gone to the site. My chiefs in Kapichira, my chiefs in Mwase and my chief in Mpamba, they have sent me to you to ask you, where are you going to do your courtesy calls, especially that the elections are now here? Mwamyo yachi kukaya kulundazi, mwamyo erampani. Where are you going to pay your courtesy calls? Especially that, up to today, you, Honorable, you're the one who took over from Gary Nkombo. You have failed to even just put up a small thing that will help you to go and enter Lundazi. Madam Speaker, the matter to the people of Lundazi is very urgent. If you don't do it, Honorable Minister of Local Government, my brother, you have nowhere to go and pay courtesy call in Lundazi. Mwamfikiranga nguni sangane mdawapangire manyumba.
The honorable member for Lundazi.
Point of order, madam.
Order.
Point of order, madam.
The honorable member for Lundazi, you know the rules of the House. The official language that is used is English. And also, when you are raising these matters, you are supposed to be brief.
Interpret, Madam Speaker.
And the honorable ministers, we don't address them by their names in this House. We address them by the ministries that they are assigned to. So, honorable member, I've heard your matter.
Point of order.
Before the minister comes in, let me just attend to this matter. Honorable member, your matter is not admissible. You were talking of an old matter that started in 2021. According to the rules for raising urgent matters without notice, it has to be something that happened within 24 hours. So your matter is not admissible. The Honorable Minister for Transport.
Madam Speaker, I'm most obliged for giving me this opportunity to rise on this very important indeed, is the honorable member for Lundazi. In order, Madam Speaker, especially considering that we have visitors in the public gallery, some of whom are our children, in order to use language which may be misconstrued, when the honorable member refers to a small thing entering Lundazi, Madam Speaker, this is extremely serious. May such be expunged from the record of this honorable House, Madam Speaker. Is she in order? Madam Speaker, I seek your serious guidance. $71.
All the honorable members, I think I had ruled much earlier to the language that is supposed to be used in this House. The official language is English. Moreover, her matter was also not admitted. So we make progress. We've had 3. Honorable members, we are supposed to take 3 matters. On who? No, we've already passed that stage. Yes, why didn't you raise it immediately after No, we didn't see you. Honorable members, without wasting much of our time, let's make progress. I've admitted, I don't know, I've ruled on all the 3 matters that were raised. I have permitted the Honorable Minister of Green Economy and Environment to present a ministerial statement. The Honorable Minister of Green Economy and Environment.
Madam Speaker, I wish to update the Honourable House and the nation at large on the prevailing weather conditions affecting our country following the influence of the tropical cyclone Gezani. From 7th February 2026 to date, Zambia has experienced marked increase in rainfall activity across most parts of the country. During the early part of this period, from 7th to 9th February 2026, continuous and at times heavy rainfall has recorded over northern, Muchinga, eastern, central, and Copperbelt provinces. Subsequently, the rainfall activity extended to western, Lusaka, southern, and northwestern provinces, areas which had previously experienced a reduction in rainfall. Madam Speaker, this sustained rainfall is attributed to increased moisture inflow associated with tropical cyclone Gezani, which is currently situated over southwestern Indian Ocean. Although the cyclone is not directly over Zambia, its circulation is enhancing moisture coverage over the country, thereby intensifying rainfall activity. Madam Speaker, the expected developments of this cyclone. According to current meteorological projections, Tropical Cyclone Gezani is expected to make landfall over Mozambique on 13th February 2026, which is today, and thereafter remain within the Mozambique Channel before weakening into low-pressure systems over central Mozambique by 17th Feb 2026. However, it is important to note that there remains some uncertainty regarding the exact trajectory, intensity, and speed of the cyclone. Such systems are dynamic in nature and may change direction or strength depending on prevailing atmospheric conditions. In view of this uncertainty, rainfall activity over Zambia is expected to continue over the next 7 days, but the spatial distribution and intensity may vary depending on cyclone's eventual track. Anticipated impacts, Madam Speaker. As the cyclone continues its westward movement, it is expected to sustain the inflow of warm and unstable moisture into the region. Consequently, the following impacts are anticipated. Number one, elevated moisture content levels across the country. Two, the rising river and stream levels, especially in low-lying and flood-prone areas. Thirdly, increased risk of flash floods and flooding, particularly in urban areas with poor drainage systems. 4, waterlogging and leaching of soil nutrients, which may affect agricultural productivity. 5, possible displacement of communities in high-risk areas. And last but not the least, 6, potential damage to infrastructure, including roads and bridges. Our advisory from the Ministry, Madam Speaker. In light of the above, government advises the following. Local authorities, which is the councils, Madam Speaker, should intensify community sensitization on flood safety and preparedness measures. Monitoring of major river basins should be strengthened. Relevant ministries and agencies must enhance coordination for preparedness and response actions, and communities in high-risk flood zones are urged to take precautionary measures to remain alert to official advisories. Madam Speaker, on the health advisory, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with local authorities, should heighten surveillance for waterborne and vector-borne diseases such as cholera, typhoid, and malaria, which are commonly associated with flooding. Members of the public are advised to boil or treat drinking water, practice proper hygiene, and avoid contact with flood water where possible. The health facilities, especially in flood-prone districts, should ensure adequate stocks of essential medicines and emergency medical supplies. Last but not the least, The public is encouraged to promptly report suspected disease outbreaks to the nearest health facility. Madam Speaker, our advisory to agriculture. Farmers, particularly in the flood-prone areas, are advised to improve field drainage where possible to minimize waterlogging. Livestock farmers should move animals to higher grounds and ensure adequate shelter to prevent loss and disease outbreaks. Extension officers are directed to provide guidance on soil nutrient management given the risk of nutrient leaching. Farmers are encouraged to closely monitor crop conditions and report any significant damage to local authorities, local agricultural officers rather, for timely assessment and support. Madam Speaker, given the uncertainty surrounding the trajectory and the evolution of Tropical Cyclone Gezani, the public and the private sector, disaster management structures, and all stakeholders are strongly encouraged to continuously obtain official weather updates and advisories from the Zambia Meteorological Department. The Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, through the Zambia Meteorological Department, will continue to closely monitor the trajectory and intensity of Tropical Cyclone Gezani and provide timely and regular updates to the nation. Government, Madam Speaker, remains committed to safeguarding lives, livelihoods, and national infrastructure during this period. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. I have permitted, honorable members are now free to ask questions on points of clarification on the ministerial statement presented by the Acting Minister of Green Economy and Environment. The Honorable Member for Chitambo.
Madam Speaker, this is a very timely ministerial statement that has been laid on the floor of the House. And taking advantage of this ministerial statement, Madam Speaker, I would want to bring to the attention of government that Chitambo already is in water, because 5 wards of my constituents are already submerged, and their cassava and other crops are in water. Minister, I heard you very clearly. You said local councils are encouraged to do sensitization to the communities and to get prepared for action. My question is, I know that we might have human resource, but do we have the financial resource that is majorly needed for these people to start moving and do what you've requested them to do? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Acting Minister of Green Economy and Environment.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member, for that follow-up question. Madam Speaker, yes, we do have resources for that, and that is the more reason why in my statement I did indicate that we are going to use the facilities within the districts to be able to assist us to manage this. In this particular case, Madam Speaker, we're talking about the local authorities who do have what we would like to call the yellow equipment to assist in draining most of those flooded areas. And also, Madam Speaker, I just want to indicate that these activities, if they're declared as a disaster, are managed through the Disaster Management and Mitigating Unit. Madam Speaker, I submit.
The Honorable Member for Ron.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to ask a follow-up question to the Acting Minister. Acting Minister, thank you very much for your brief but detailed ministerial statement. You have outlined the negative impact that this cyclone Gezani is going to cause to the nation. But I'm particularly worried, Madam Speaker, that in your advice, especially to the agriculture sector, where you have advised the extension officers to advise the farmers to draw up the drains from their fields. My concern and my question, Honorable Minister, is that at the end of it, or even when they do this, is the 2025-2026 farming season yield going to be affected? Are we going to see an effect, a negative effect on the yield of the 2025-2026 harvest of our farming season. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Acting Minister of Green Economy and Environment.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and just to thank the Honourable MP for that follow-up question. Madam Speaker, as we have advised our colleagues from agriculture, the more water you have in your fields, I'll speak from experience as a farmer, the more water you have in your field actually gets to leach your nutrients. And we can only ascertain as to whether the 2026, 2027, is it 2025, 2026 harvest will be affected when our team of agriculture extension officers do get on the ground. But it is our desire that these mitigatory aspects that we've requested our team from agriculture to do are actually implemented in a shortest possible time, especially during this period, so that we do not lose our crop, which obviously we worked so hard to raise up to where it is today. Madam Speaker, I submit.
The Honourable Member for Kantanshi.
Thank you once more, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, one of the challenges that we have when we have these floods are the reptiles under his ministry, which he never talked about. In some of these prone areas where your crocodiles just end up in residential areas, has your ministry highlighted some of the hot spots where these reptiles are rampant? I have Quito in mind, for example. On several occasions, you find that crocodiles are in an area called Kwamulenga and so on. Have you identified areas where your ministry should be able to keep as red spots so that in case those reptiles get swept onto those areas, our people will still remain safe? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Acting Minister of Green Economy and Environment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honourable MP, for that follow-up question. And indeed, the intervention is very timely. My team from the Department of National Parks and Wildlife are very much on alert of those river basins which ordinarily do burst when we have flash floods such as this. But we just like to call upon the members of the public to alert us almost immediately. It might be very difficult for us to be doing our patrols, but for as soon as members of the public alert us to say we have a few reptiles in any of these places where they're not supposed to be, then we'll come and capture them and then take them to where they're supposed to be. I must indicate that we will not kill them, but we'll just capture them and resettle them elsewhere. Madam Speaker, I submit.
The Honourable Member for Kanyama.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity that you have given me to ask a follow-up question. Madam Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for his statement and the assurance that has been given that local authorities will go around to sensitize the communities. Now, you're looking at places that have got perpetual floods, like Kanyama, as we are speaking now. There are floods. Now, with this looming cyclone, I don't know whether it's Gezani, wherever we got the name. With this looming cyclone that is coming, what is it that the local authority going to do, bearing in mind that these few floods that we've had, they have been unable to handle them? Madam Speaker, I submit.
The Acting Minister of Green Economy and Environment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for that follow-up question. Madam Speaker, I think it's a very well-known fact that most of the settlements that we have today in our country are situate in places which become extremely flood-prone. And, Madam Speaker, just to quickly answer the Honourable MP's question, it's incumbent upon the local leadership in the various constituencies to work hand in glove with the local authority. And what we have actually discovered, Madam Speaker, is that most of these areas that are affected year in, year out are probably what I would like to call unplanned settlements, areas where you find that our colleagues, our brothers and sisters build their beautiful structures in dumbbells, and eventually request that the local authority works with them. So I think, as the saying goes, charity begins at home. When you are told not to build in a specific area, do not build, because it becomes increasingly difficult for us as government to mitigate. And this is where you actually find that we sometimes go into those places a little late, or not go there at all, because you are sitting in an area which obviously was not designated for human habitation. So, Madam Speaker, to quickly answer my colleague's question, please work hand and glove with the councillor, yourselves, and then bring up these issues to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development so that we find ways and means on how we can mitigate the disaster. Madam Speaker, I submit.
The Honourable Member from Mbabala.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good morning, and thank you, Honourable Minister. Minister, what appropriate communication measures have you put for persons with disabilities to be included in this sensitization over this very devastating cyclone, so that they are not left out, but they are part and parcel of the measures that are being taken by government? I thank you.
The Acting Minister of Green Economy and Environment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you for that follow-up question from Honourable Member for Mbabala. Madam Speaker, I'm very much aware that the District Disaster Management Committee does include our colleagues living with disabilities. And I also want to indicate that the same DMMU, District Disaster, DMMU, does also include the honourable MPs for our respective constituencies. So I think it's very, very important that in as much as they want more representation from various sectors of society, it becomes very increasingly important that our area MPs do rope in these colleagues of ours who may be challenged in one way or the other, so that they also give us an input. But one thing I would want to state, Madam Speaker, is that as government, we're all inclusive, we're all embracing. Anyone who has a good idea that we want to use to be able to push our agenda is more than welcome. Madam Speaker, I submit.
The Honourable Member for Mandevu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to the people of Mandevu to ask a follow-up question. To start with, I feel this statement should have been given by Her Honor the Vice President, because the solutions need collaborative efforts of the Ministry of Health and local government and DMMU itself. Kanyama, Mandevu, and other areas are flood-prone areas. And when these floods come, we have waterborne diseases such as cholera, dysentery, and other diseases that may come. And so solutions range from cleaning the drainages, providing clean, safe drinking water in areas that are not serviced by the Water Trust and Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company. Since you represent one government and one cabinet, I just wanted to find out, because we need immediate action, and us, the local leadership, are available immediately. Is DMMU going to call the civic leadership in those areas that are flood-prone to plan? Because sensitization itself is not enough to plan for immediate action, collaborative immediate action. And thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Acting Minister of Green Economy and Environment.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and just to thank Honourable MP for Mandevu for that follow-up question. Madam Speaker, I'm very delighted that he does understand that UPND is one government. We thrive on one government policy, and I just want to also publicly state that Her Honor the Vice President of the Republic of Zambia, Mrs. WK Mtalena Lumango, is the chair of the Committee of Ministers who manage disasters. Madam Speaker, this particular ministerial statement has come at a time where Gezani has not hit. And this is the more reason. Just this week, Madam Speaker, we were hearing about the amendment of the Disaster Management Act, which obviously is speaking to us as government to become more proactive as opposed to being reactive. Madam Speaker, to give comfort to my colleague, MP for Mandevu, we as government have already been planning. All these advisories are as a result of the planning. We've mentioned about sensitization, which we will come to you at some point. But what is more clear to us is that even when we come to plan with you, we would have already come up with solutions that will just be implemented by our committee, which is the DMMU committee. Madam Speaker, I submit.
Thank you. Questions for oral answer, understanding order number 80. The Honorable Member for Milenge.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 180.
The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Member of Parliament for Milenge asked the Minister of Technology and Science a question in two parts. When construction of communication towers in the following areas in Milenge parliamentary constituency will commence? 1, Milenge District Hospital, 2, Lukungumo Ward, and 3, Saka Ward. And in Part B, what the cause of the delay in constructing the towers is. Madam Speaker, perhaps let me put context to the issue of towers before I come to the specific answer. Madam Speaker, we have had challenges in delivering towers, but I'm now glad to say, Madam Speaker, that we have undertaken a number of initiatives to address the issue of towers. Number 1, Madam Speaker, through the Ministry of Finance, the World Bank approved $100 million under the digital program for Zambia. And out of that program, there will be 300 towers that will be delivered this year. Number 2, Madam Speaker, is that the telcos, 1, are doing 407 towers this year, including, Madam Speaker, upgrading 1,200 towers from 3G to 4G. Next, Madam Speaker, for the first...
Honorable members.
Madam Speaker, next...
The consultations are rather loud.
Madam Speaker, next is that in the budget for 2026, for the very first time, the Minister of Finance, to whom I'm grateful, has made a provision in the budget of 150 million kwacha, which will go in the construction of towers. Now, referring to the question specifically, Madam Speaker, the answer is as follows. In A, government plans to construct communication towers at Milenge Hospital in the 32 communication tower project, thanks to the allocation in the 2026 budget under the Ministry of Technology. Government has also planned to construct a tower at Lungomukuta Ward under the World Bank-funded Digital Acceleration Program. In Saka Ward, government has allocated construction of a tower in the establishment of the Digital Smart Village project. In BEAM, Madam Speaker, the delay is because we needed to approve the 2026 budget as well as the World Bank grant, which has now been finalized and effective. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Milenge.
Thank you, Minister. We appreciate the context that you have added as supplementary information. 3 years ago, or thereabout, you came here and gave us hope that you are constructing towers. Personally, I submitted about 5 sites, and we took the message to the people in Milenge. We appreciate the information that you have put here. Now, are you sure, Minister, this won't be just another promise? In terms of the message that we must take to the people, that is this is different from the other promise you did years back. I seek your comment. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, we started negotiating and finding funds from the World Bank almost 3 years. Negotiations were protracted, and thank you to the Minister of Finance, we finally got the approval last year. And this grant is now effective in 2026. So that is confirmation that we're making progress. Number 2, Madam Speaker, in this year's budget, 2026, for the very first time, the Minister of Finance has provided 150 million for the construction of towers. And that you can check in the budget. And one of the towers in Milenge will come out of that budget. Number 3, Madam Speaker, we have said we are going to do a smart village, and that has already been provided for in the 2026 budget. So I would ask the Member of Parliament for Milenge to spend time to go and look through the budget. I thank you.
The Honorable Member for Mukushi South.
Madam Speaker, I need protection from your...
You may ask your question, Honorable Member.
Madam Speaker, the Honorable Minister, if you remember very well, came to this house through your office and made 3 to 4 announcements that we needed to submit the areas of our interest where we needed to have towers, and we did submit. All of us, we did submit. There was even a deadline attached to that. Today, we haven't received these towers. Honorable Minister, you were saying you are going to give Milenge the towers that he has asked this year, bearing in mind that the Zambian people are going to kick you out in 3 months' time. When are you sure you are going to manage to give Milenge the towers within 3 months? Because in August, you will be out of government. I submit, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, as I stand here, I'm not aware that this government is going to be kicked out, because across your aisle, Madam Speaker, there doesn't seem to appear any hope. Madam Speaker, I have already said that we have got a grant from the World Bank, and I've already said in the budget for 2026, we have a provision of 150 million kwacha. And this is what is going to address the issues of towers. I thank you.
Thank you. There's an indication for a point of order. What is your point of order?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity given to me to raise a very serious point of order for that matter on the Minister of Technology, pursuant to Standing Order number 71. Madam Speaker, the Minister makes an insinuation that here we are not giving hope to the Zambian people. When he knows 100% that his government has failed the Zambian people in all spheres, and people are crying. They are crying for change. They are calling on us through Honorable Brian Mondowire to govern the country.
Order, Honorable
to come
member.
And redeem them.
Order.
Instead of him, Madam Speaker, just saying he will join us when we form government, like he usually does.
Order. You may take your seat, Honorable member. That point of order, Honorable member, is not admissible. We may continue with serious business. The Honorable member for Itesteji. The Honorable member for Itesteji.
It has been overtaken, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving a chance to the people of Lundazi to ask a follow-up question to the Honorable Minister, Honorable Mtati. Honorable Mtati, I want to redeem you a bit because I think the heat is too much. You came and built 2 towers in Lundazi, that is at Kanyunya, and also in Msuzi Ward at Kasuku. Now, I'm not like my husband who says you are going. So, at least me, I'm very objective.
Order, honorable members, order. The honorable member
Thank
for
you, Madam
Lundazi,
Speaker.
you may take your
Allow
seat.
me to finish.
You may take your seat. The honorable member for Lundazi, be reminded that we don't address people in this house as husband or wives. I'm sure the honorable member, your husband, has got a constituency. So address him using the constituency, not husband. Those are family things. Thank you. Order. The honorable member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted to take advantage of Valentine's Day, which is coming tomorrow. Anyway, he's Honorable Chisopa. I want to find out something, Honorable Minister, taking advantage of the question from the Honorable Member for Milenge. After you build the towers, it is now 2.5 years. Even just to start them so that they can start working, it's a problem. Now, the question which I have for you, Honorable Minister, is if you can build the towers and it will take you 2 years before the people of Kasuku and Kanyunya and even Chintuta can be able to receive, proper network. How sure are we that these people from Mirenge are going to have these communication towers erected and also connected? Because we are suffering. You have failed to connect our towers in Lundazi. I submit.
The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, we haven't failed to connect the tower. I've already said that this year we have a budget provision of 150 million, which will be used to put active equipment to your towers in Lundazi. I thank you.
The Honorable Member for Nyimba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Before the Honorable Member for Nyimba comes in, there's an indication for a point of order. The Honorable Member for Shiwangandu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to raise a point of order on the Minister on the floor. Madam Speaker, as he was responding to a question, a follow-up question from the Honorable Member, he was saying the opposition are not giving hope. As far as we know, Madam Speaker, the Honorable Minister is an opposition president for MDC, who is just privileged to be in government. Madam Speaker, was in order to remove himself from being an opposition leader of a political party because of being in an alliance which might change dynamics as we go into the polls? Or is he confirming that he no longer has hopes to contest as the president of the Republic, and he has shelved his party? We can help in reviving it, Madam Speaker. Was he in order to exclude himself from the opposition? I think you're seriously ruling, Madam Speaker.
That point of order is not admissible. It's rather too political, which I won't attend to. So the point of order, not admissible. The Honorable Member who was on the floor. The Honorable Member for Nyimba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister, thank you again, Madam Speaker, to the member who raised this question. I acknowledge something, Madam Speaker. In my language, we say, akachita konzo, nawe konzo. So, Minister.
Meaning what? Meaning what?
I'm coming, Madam Speaker. When somebody has worked, Madam Speaker, you need to acknowledge the achievement. So, Minister, I know you promised the people of Nyimba getting to your 300 towers, which you have promised again that are going to be distributed. Out of the 5, I think last week, excavation started on 1 tower. And I can let's assure you that that polling station has got 3,000 voters, and at least you get some, because you've fulfilled the promise. Now, the question to you, Minister, in the budget there is 150 million kwacha towards the construction of towers, according to your statement. Then you have a $100 million coming from our World Bank. And you are saying about 300 towers will be distributed countrywide, will be delivered this year. Now, my question to you is, we have 10 provinces in this country. Are you going to distribute these towers equitably? Looking at some of the constituencies like mine, Madam Speaker, we cannot appreciate in terms of tower construction. We have seen other areas, towers be constructed with very similar, very few population comparing to other areas where there are huge population. And we can see towers, you move every 10 kilometers, there's a tower. And if you compare, you find that other areas which are highly populated, there are no towers. Like my constituents, as a practical example, they all very dark. You see your system there. I saw your system at the ministry. The area of Nyimba, it's dark, and you've got 300 towers coming in. Are you able to give us even 5, as you are giving Milengi 2 or so towers, and Milengi goes into Nyimba 20 times in terms of population? Are you able to deliver 5 more to Nyimba as you are delivering 2 to Milengi? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Member of Parliament for Nyimba is basically saying, do to me as to what you have done to Milenge. When we do the towers, we have specific criteria that we follow, including population, including existing towers, including economic activity, including government infrastructure. So we take all that into account. So we cannot say we'll do to you what you have done to Milenge because the factors may be different. I thank you.
The Honourable Member from Mbabala.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Minister, to that response to the people of Milenge. Honourable Minister, in the usual methodical way of the new Dawn UPND government, what step-by-step measures are you putting to ensure that other areas that do not have communication towers, such as Chazangwe in the Mbabara constituency and the Simunsere and the Chantambo Sinarungu areas, can also have those network towers which we have applied for to your ministry? I thank you.
Thank you. Before the Minister comes in, there's an indication for a point of order. The Honourable Member for Katombola.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for according the people of Katombola an opportunity to raise a point of order against the leader of government business, Honorable J.J. Mwimbu. Madam Speaker, is the Honorable leader of government business in order to sit there quietly and not inform the nation that yesterday's elections in Serenge, where the UPND participated and emerged victorious in Muchinda Ward, is he Madam Speaker, is a leader of government business in order to sit quietly there without informing the nation that the people of Serenge has reposed continued confidence in the UPND? Is in order, Madam Speaker? I thank you.
The Honourable Member for Katombola, that point of order is not admissible because there are other channels that are normally used. Through ECZ, they are going to announce the winner. So that point of order is not admissible. The Honourable Minister of Technology and Science.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I think that the point of order was on a light note, just to show the momentum that is being gathered as we approach the major event later this year. Madam Speaker, the question from the Honourable Member of Parliament for Mbabala is specific location, and I don't have that information on my fingertips. I thank you.
The Honourable Member for Milenge.
Minister, thank you. We want to appreciate you that you are beginning. We want to take your word as Madam Speaker.
You may proceed.
Yes. Minister, I want to thank the promise that you have done on the floor of this House that you are giving us a tower. And I could see from the members that this is a common and standard problem in the country. I'm only worried that which you have spoken to, but for the sake of clarity, in your areas of preference, in terms of which areas you are starting with, I ask this question because 2 of my wards have got zero communication. Is this part of the need to give preference to such areas? Because these people, since you promised them, I went back to them, and then today we are hearing a new thing, Kabi, and then they've got zero communication. Now, is this one of the reasons you are going to use as a preference in terms of attending to this problem? Because I realize that the 300 towers that you are going to construct are not as sufficient as the country may need. Could you be able to comment on the orders of preference? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Minister of Technology and Science.
Madam Speaker, we don't have preferences. We reflect the priorities that are submitted by the honorable members of parliament. And he specifically submitted 3 locations in Milenge. And we have answered that we are going to plant towers in those 3 locations, which are his priorities. We don't have preferences, we don't have feelings. So go back and bring new priorities for us to be able to address. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable members, we are behind time. The honorable member for Milenge has exhausted his locations. So we make progress. Next question, the honorable member for Chinsali.
Question number 181.
The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Chinsali, Parliamentary Constituents, asked the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development whether the construction of Chinsali bus station in Chinsali district will be completed, what the cause of the delay in completing the project is, what the cost of the project is, at what percentage of completion the project was as of August 2025, and what the cost of outstanding works was as at August 2025. Madam Speaker, in response to the question raised by Honorable Member of Parliament for Chinsali, I wish to inform this August House that the construction of Chinsali bus station will be completed. The delay or stalling was due to limited funds. The project is under reprocurement and the cost will be ascertained once the procurement process is concluded. As at August 2025, the project had stalled at about 10%. On the old contract of 2014, the cost of outstanding works by August 2025 was about 10 million kwacha. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Supplementary questions? The Honorable Member for Chinsali.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, I didn't hear you clearly because I asked when it will be completed. You just said it will be completed. Then you mentioned something like the project is under procurement. Does it mean the contract that was there was terminated and the contractor that was there is no longer the contractor? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much, and I would like to thank my dear colleague for a follow-up question. Madam Speaker, in the statement, I did indicate that the initial contract was awarded in the year 2014 for a bus station. So when you look at the period, definitely the contract got expired. The procurement was initiated under the new Dawn administration. So that is the delay. And when I say when funds are made available, it means resources are being organized, since that's the more reason the procurement process has started. Thank you so much.
The Honorable Member for Chinsali, do you have another question? Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I've gotten the answer from the Minister. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. The Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. the issue of bus stations, Madam Speaker, is it's aching, actually. The delay in finishing construction of all these bus stations is leading to a lot of talk, especially in my constituency as well, Lundazi, where now people are mocking that you destroyed the old bus stop and have just brought in a piggery. So, Honorable Minister, looking at how you are delaying to complete the bus station in Lundazi, what hope can you be able to give these people, especially that there's very few months before dissolution of Parliament, where we have the right to speak and represent our people? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much. Madam Speaker, though the question is constituency-based, I would like to give a business response to my honorable sister, the Member of Parliament for Lundazi. She raised this concern, Madam Speaker. I had a conversation with her, and we did engage that our concerns be tabled at the ministry together with my technical team so that our concerns are properly addressed. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I'll take the last two. The Honorable Member for Shiwangandu and the Honorable Member for Zambezi East.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, this is a project whose contract was terminated. When you say procurement, obviously entails that you have reevaluated the cost of completion of the project, and now you are engaged in the processes of procurement as you have stated. Can we know at what stage have you already floated tenders for the completion of this station, and if so, when we should expect the new contractor to be on site for the completion of the works? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Madam Speaker, thank you so much, and I'd like to thank my dear colleague, Member of Parliament for Shiwangandu, for a follow-up question. Madam Speaker, indeed the contract was terminated. The reprocurement process has just started. To give the exact time when the contract will be awarded, I'll be giving wrong information. We know very well that government processes and tendering processes, they take a bit of time. So for me to give an accurate response to my dear colleague, I want to be factual. Not until that process is concluded. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The last member, the Honorable Member for Zambezi East.
Madam Speaker, I sincerely thank you for the opportunity to ask the Honorable Minister of Local Government a follow-up question. Madam Speaker, since you've used your discretion to allow the Honorable Member of Lundazi to ask a follow-up question and include what is happening in Lundazi, I wish to relate this to Zambezi. What you've seen in Chinsali are these contracts which were started during the PF regime. And it's clear that even in Lundazi, it's a similar situation. In Zambezi East, we also have a similar situation. A bus stop that was started in the previous regime, the contractor did some shoddy work, and then the contract was terminated eventually. And now we have a new contractor. That's when we've seen a little bit of activities. I just want to find out from the Honorable Minister of Local Government the commitment of the New Dawn administration to ensuring that I know mess is not allowed in Parliament. I don't know what word to use. That chaos which was created during the previous regime, which he is now correcting, we get the assurance that all these bus stations that had stalled and now have new contractors will be completed within schedule. including the bus station at Zambezi. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Local Government and Rural Development.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and I would like to thank my dear colleague for a follow-up question. Madam Speaker, the New Dawn government issues contracts when the resource envelope is made available. We don't just come up with the contract when we don't even know where money is going to come from to pay the contractor. The other issue that I'm employing my dear colleagues, the members of Parliament in general, is that the works or the contracts that are being undertaken in our constituencies, we need to take keen interest. If there is anything that is being done, showed in nature, please speak out so that a correct measure is taken. That's the conversation that I had with my dear colleague from Lundas to say our concerns need to be addressed. These contractors, they should know that you play an oversight role. And contracts should be given, even the output should be perfect so that at least these products, they stand a test of time. So any short work that we or you see, please, a red card should be shown so that the right thing is done. Let us not leave it to contractors alone, even council workers alone. We have to take keen interest because it is us who apportion resources here. So we have a bigger say than anybody else. So speak out, don't fear anything. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Before we move to the next question, I have an announcement to make. Honorable members, as you are aware, the Electoral Commission of Zambia is holding delimitation consultative meetings in all constituencies. However, ECZ, in consultation with the Speaker's office, has rescheduled the meetings scheduled for Thursday, 19th February and Friday, 20th February, to the week beginning 23rd February 2026. This is to enable all honorable members to attend the special address on the progress made in the application of national values and principles by the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. The specific dates for the rescheduled delimitation exercise meetings shall be communicated to you in due course. Therefore, all honorable members are advised to be in the House on Friday, 20th February 2026, to listen to the speech by the President. Further, honorable members are advised that on Tuesday, 17th February and Wednesday, 18th February 2026, all members who will be attending the delimitation consultative meetings and are unable to attend the sitting of the House physically will be provided with logging in credentials so that they can attend the sittings virtually. I thank you. Next question, the Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 182.
Did you say question number 1? Question.
Is it not 182?
Thank you.
Yes.
The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Member for Kalabo Central has asked the following questions. A, what the major causes of poverty in Zambia are, and B, what measures are being taken to combat poverty. our response is as follows, Madam Speaker. Some of the major causes of poverty in Zambia include the following. One, of course, to the extent that most of our people, especially the poor ones, live in rural areas, the major cause of poverty is the low agricultural productivity. Secondly, and in connected with that, poor infrastructure and connectivity. Third, limited access to finance and credit facilities. Fourth, demographic and human capital factors. The country continues to experience high fertility levels, causing large household sizes, low education levels, and skills. Madam Speaker, I have to emphasize that poverty is a multi-dimensional phenomenon. Most of the time we speak about income poverty, but there are also other aspects of poverty, especially those to do with deprivation. Deprivation from education, deprivation from from services like health. All those are elements of poverty. In terms of what government is implementing, Madam Speaker, the first thing, of course, is the reform of the economy so that it grows bigger. As it grows bigger, more jobs will be created, so many people will be able to fend for themselves because they'll be able to earn an income, and also more taxes will be paid, which government can use to support those who are weak in society. So the issue of economic reform stands at the center of the fight against poverty. On top of that, Madam Speaker, we have other interventions that go directly to support individuals. For example, the Farmer Input Support Program and the Food Security Pack. All those are intended to make the individual farmer to produce more and therefore fight poverty. Madam Speaker, there are also social intervention programs for those who are very weak in our society. The social cash transfer and the cash for work, those are programs that ensure that those who are weak in our society, who have no direct access to jobs, at least they will have some income. The CDF, Madam Speaker, is something that is also helping to fight poverty, because under CDF, children are able to go to school. Under CDF, we are able to provide services like health so that that deprivation is dealt with. Under CDF, so many small businesses and job opportunities have been created, which enable people in the localities to get income as they construct those schools, as they make those desks, as they do all sorts of work in the constituencies. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, I want to say that I want to repeat what I said yesterday. Education is the most important fight against poverty, because when people are educated, first of all, they'll know what to do in terms of protecting themselves from hazards, because they can read, they can listen to radios, they can listen to television. So some of the hazardous things that people who have less education can expose themselves to, those who are educated have a higher chance of protecting themselves from those hazards. But also education, as we have said over and over, this is an investment in a human being that makes it possible for that person, if they succeed in education, to be able to get a job, look after their parents, look after their children. This is why this government has decided that education is going to be free, because this is really a way of making sure that each and every child, each and every family gets something out of their country. Education is an equalizer. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Kalabo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Minister has comprehensively responded to the questions, and his last remark or his last answer in conclusion was based on education, that education becomes the master key. Now, Honorable Minister, is there consistency in the way forward to enhance education across all communities? Is there consistency? Are there no ups and downs in the process of delivering this education to these people who are underprivileged? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. The consistency in terms of intention plans is definitely there, but we also have to recognize that this is a journey that will not happen in one day. The most important decision was to say education is going to be free, and that was backed up by provision of financial resources, as we know it, through the CDF. So that will remain consistent. Having said so, I think it is also fair to admit that there are challenges on this journey. Some of the challenges include the fact that the disparities between the rural and urban areas will continue for some time, because education is not just what you go and learn in school. Education is also what you pick in your environment. So obviously, the children who are here in the urban areas, they can learn from their phones, they can learn from television, they can read from radios. And our children in the rural areas, to that extent, of course, disadvantaged. Until, of course, more and more of these facilities continue to be expanded. But the other thing that is a challenge is the tendency by teachers to shun the remotest places. Yes, this government has done a lot to hire so many teachers in the last few years, but still, we have this problem of the deep, deep rural areas being shunned by teachers. And when that happens, even though the policy says free education to everybody, then those who are in the deep, deep remote areas get disadvantaged. So these are, as I said, this is a long journey, but these are some of the issues that have to be addressed as we move along so that there is equity across the education spectrum.
The Honorable Member for Kalomo Central. Oh, sorry. The Honorable Member for Kawata.
I'm grateful, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Minister, I totally agree with you that education is one of the key ingredients that you can use to fight poverty. We've seen in religious circles where people think poverty is actually demon, yet it is just a social condition. Honorable Minister, I've picked up one of the social programs that you are running to fight poverty, and this is the Cash for Work. We've seen how cash for work is transforming our communities. People are getting help through the cash for work. But we've seen also that the challenge which has been there is the issue of how payments are being made. Do we have a system on how we can start improving how payments should be flowing when it comes to cash for work? Because it's a good social program that is helping our community to fight poverty. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Madam Speaker, the very last words that the Honorable said, I missed that because there was a bit of disturbance. Were you saying the payment streams, or is that what you are referring to?
My emphasis is on late payments, on how payments are coming in for those that are doing those who are on cash for work. So is there a way that we can improve and see how best we can improve on this one? Because this social program is helping our communities. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I am about to answer, I'm sure I will be.
Order. As the time is 10:40 hours, I suspend business for 20 minutes for a healthy break.
Good morning. You're tuned in to Parliament Television. Business will resume at 11 hours. The Minister of Finance on the floor of the House responding to points of clarification or follow-up questions by members of Parliament. The recent one is Kawata lawmaker, Mr. Taengwa, and this is in line with the question that has been posed by Mr. Miyuto of Kalabo Central. Mr. Miyuto wanted to find out, did ask the Minister of Finance and National Planning what the major causes of poverty in Zambia are and what measures have been taken to alleviate poverty levels. And so we do expect the Minister of Finance to respond to a follow-up question that has been posed by the Kawata Member of Parliament.
Exactly. We still have more questions that to be considered under Standing Order 80, and of course 2 bills are coming at different stages, second reading, and one coming at committee stage.
We did have a ministerial statement that was delivered earlier by the Acting Minister of Green Economy and Environment on the impact of the cyclone Gezani, and earlier there was a business statement that was presented by the Acting Leader of Government Business, Honorable Mwimbu. The business statement is for the period 17th to 27th February 2026.
And of course, another announcement, Madam Speaker did announce that in the absence of our Honorable Vice President, who is attending to other government business, the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security, Mr. Jacob Mwimbu, had been appointed acting leader of government business in the House until further notice. And of course, Madam Speaker also recognized that the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Newcrest Academy in Lusaka district.
All right, so just about now we take a break. Join us in a short while.
Get ready for the 17th meeting of the Network of African Parliamentary Committees of Health, NEPACO, from 25th to 27th February 2026 at the Mulungushi International Conference Center, Kenneth Kaunda Wing, under the theme Repositioning Parliamentarians to Enhance Health Systems for Emergency Response, Equity, Resilience, and Sustainability in the context of attaining universal health coverage. Join parliamentarians from over 27 African countries as they drive health equity, resilience, and sustainability for all Africans. Catch the live broadcast of all the proceedings of the meetings on Parliament Radio and Television. Your health, your parliament, your future. Parliament Television, bringing Parliament closer to you. President Hakainde Hichilema on Friday, 20th February 2026, addressed the nation on the progress made